Antioch Rest Cemetery in Grandview, Texas, has a long-rumored history of paranormal activity. The historical site has been reported by many as a place not for the faint of heart. People have reported that they've had rocks thrown at their cars when parked across the road, or even when driving by, while nobody was around to do so. In our first trip, we experienced this for ourselves, and while we weren't able to officially document it, it was something that we couldn't find a rational explanation for. Other people have reported seeing shadows and visible ghost lights that seem to lurk around the 10 acres of historical graves, an all too familiar story that's common with haunted cemeteries. During our second trip to Antioch, we were able to document some of this activity for ourselves on video, but could not find a conclusive source. Finally, there's at least one known account of a possible dark attachment that was the result of an amateur investigation. A woman with a group of friends became confrontational while trying to elicit a paranormal response. That night, she began acting strangely and having violent outbursts. Later that night, a family friend with strong religious background came and prayed over the woman, and the activity with her eventually ceased. However, for months after that, the other friends of the group who were present during the investigation and the cleansing began experiencing events in their own homes, such as their children becoming suddenly afraid, screaming out in terror at night, furniture moving on its own without explanation, and phantom noises when nobody else was home. After a time, the activity stopped on its own, but the experience has left emotional marks on the people who were involved. This trip marks our third and final investigation at the cemetery, where we hope to put to bed many of the questions and theories that were brought up during the first two. In cases where we are left with lingering questions, we always return for multiple trips in an attempt to debunk anything we might have captured previously. If there is an intelligent entity there, it might be more comfortable talking to a group it has become familiar with over the course of multiple visits. If there's something lurking in the shadows of this historical cemetery, what is it? Before we investigate, we turn to our case analyst Mike Cross for the history of Grandview, Texas, and the Antioch Rest Cemetery.
Antioch Cemetery, which is now an official Texas historical site, was founded in 1850 when a man named J.F. Scurlock opened a general store in the area. The town slowly grew around that. Within 10 years, they had the town site laid out and had constructed their first two-story building, which wound up housing both their Masonic Lodge and their schools, all of that, for the time being. In 1882, the Missouri, Kansas, and Texas Railroad was laid, and it ran within 2 miles of the town. So the town gradually shifted towards the railroad as they grew for better trade and stuff like that. In 1920, there was a fire that burned down roughly 30 businesses, around 100 homes, and was reported to have killed 30 people and left somewhere around 900 people homeless. The cemetery grew over the old town site, which was where the original general store was and the Masonic Lodge. It was used for a relatively long time. Now it's closed to the public as far as being used for burials, though some of the Masonic families that still have a lineage in the area still own unused plots. So theoretically they could choose to be buried in that cemetery if they wish. They do still have some of the original townspeople buried in the cemetery. A Scott and Elmira are buried there. They are two of the town's first African American settlers. It's experienced a varied influx in residents, dropping down by 800 or 900 after World War I, shooting up to as high as 2,100 people as recent as 1988. It's slowly tapered off since then, as far as Grandview is concerned, the town of Grandview. There is one grave in particular in the cemetery that is the grave of a woman who was passing through town in the late 1800s with her boyfriend or lover. She was found murdered the day after they arrived in town, and he was never seen again. They marked the grave Annie because that is what she had embroidered on a handkerchief that was located on her body.
Talk about what happened last time we were here.
Last time we were here?
Mm-hmm.
Feeling like someone was in the woods. I believe you saw a light, but I don't think I saw it. I think the house lights were in my eyes. We came over to this area, and I stood a little off from you, and a rock fell by my head. And we kept hearing footsteps. I believe they were over that direction. Were some of them?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it when we were walking out. The reason I got skitsy is because I thought I saw someone standing by the square with all the graves in it.
Mm-hmm.
And between us and the gate. But, yeah, the rock that fell by my head, I don't know, though. It, like you said, you could have kicked it up, but I felt like it came
From a different
straight
direction.
down by my ear. My other thought is that it could have been something that fell off the tree.
Like an acorn or something?
But it felt very heavy, but I can't
Right.
prove that.
You are under a tree.
Mary, are you here? Alright, I'm over here all by myself now. Last time I was over here, I heard footsteps.
There's a knocking. I'm getting it.
Two knocking that way.
Now.
There's a knocking. I'm getting it.
Two knocking.
Last time I was over here, I heard footsteps. Hey, Katie? Point that EMF detector at my back right now. If you
We're at 0.53, 0.54 now. Almost 0.55, 0.55,
Is there something here? Because
0.56.
my back is tickling right now.
Take a picture of your back.
Do you have a name? Do you have a name? Alright guys, here we go.
Everything?
Yeah.
Do you want me to shut the gate behind us or leave it open?
We can probably leave it open. Alright, so y'all are seeing what I'm seeing. I'm basically...
random rabid dogs trying to maul us like greyhounds.
So if you'll notice, it's pitch black. What y'all don't know on these videos is that the light you see... Wow, I can't see anything.
Okay, come through here. It's...
Okay, I see you now.
Okay.
Alright. My eyes will adjust a little bit. Alright, so what I'm going to talk about here real quick is how IR light works. So as you can see in my camera viewer here, I can see stuff there because it uses IR light.
I see Orion.
But out here, it's just pitch black. This is what I see with my eyes right here. That's Sarah standing about 4 feet in front of me.
It's not that dark out. But
See how you can see her in my viewer now?
there's no moon.
That's what I see. So as I'm trying to walk around on top of all these graves and shit, and now I get the joy of like trying to manage
Some
2 cameras.
giant tree stumps there. I keep thinking I dropped something.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's awesome. Alright, so where do we want to start?
Do you want to start? We usually get stuff every... Oh, and live stream people. There's a train right there. It came through just a little while ago, but there might be another one, and 2 football fields that way maybe is 35. So we get honking horns, motors, an occasional person cussing someone out, maybe a gunshot, open carry, but...
Yeah, that stuff's usually pretty easy to identify, and we usually just pause whatever we're doing until it's completely
There's also
just done.
donkeys, cows, goats, dogs, people.
Yeah, there's definitely contamination here.
Occasionally we hear music because they're having a party.
Sarah, why don't you pull out the millimeter and let's do some EMF and get a baseline, make sure we're not getting any spikes or anything. Hold the power button for like 4 seconds to get it on. Chupa thingy.
Did we ever find out if there was power lines out here?
There are no power lines out here.
Because I know Carson, we chased that damn high EMF. There's... Yeah, I moved it so it went up, but there's nothing. It's 0, 0. You show at some point that some of these graves have a pentagram on them. It's what looks like a pentagram. It's the Eastern Star symbol, the female version of the Masonic Lodge. And the Eastern Star symbol is a star in a circle. I believe it's actually upside down. Watch out, you're right by. It's got some letters around it, but we noticed it on one of these graves here, and I just happened to know what it was because my grandma was an Eastern Star. Though I should point it out because it's interesting.
So what I'm doing, what I have here is my germanium diode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook it up to a digital recorder, and it's going to capture ambient EMFs, I'm sorry, not EMFs, EVPs, while we're doing other stuff. And basically, this is not a microphone, it's just a diode. So all it picks up is frequencies in the sub 80 hertz range.
I could take a film picture like they used to do in the olden days. Lining that up right next to the EVP for your listening pleasure. How do I know if the... Oh, there it goes.
There's frogs in the cold. They're demons.
Oh, God. Oh. Never again.
Oh, keep making that face for the video. That's great.
Stop. That's why I didn't want to do this. Okay. Do you want to go ahead and do EVPs here? Like, the whole list, or just...
Just, 9 or 10 questions, something like that. We'll do our standard count.
What is the airspeed of a laden swallow? Got the only Monty Python fan ghost. African or European?
Okay, so what Sarah's doing here, she's getting out a list of preset questions that we like to ask when we're trying to get electronic voice phenomenon. Because when you're out here trying to do this crap, your brain gets fried because you're worried about, some psychopath sneaking up on you and cutting you.
Alien frogs.
She's got the electromagnetic frequency detector sitting in front of her so she can monitor if there's like some kind of spikes or whatever. We've got the germanium diode sitting next to her, and then she's actually holding the other digital recorder. So we're going to see how this goes, and I'm basically just going to film her doing it.
I should ask the ghost if it wants to see pictures of my kids like the other people today. It's how to get rid of a haunting. Okay, so is anyone here? If you are, feel free to talk into the orange light. Can you tell us your name? Do you know who we are? Because we've been out here a few times. Could you say one of our names?
I heard something off to the right over there, like, how could I describe the noise? Almost like a rattling. Maybe it's the fence rattling.
Yeah, the wind was blowing on the barbed wire fence on the across the road.
Okay.
Makes like either a...
It sounded a little bit closer than that.
Well, the fence is chain link. How many of you are out here?
I hear another sound again, but I hear it off to the right. Like, directly behind you, but back, like, 40, 50 feet.
Walk over there.
You want me to walk that direction?
I mean, do you want... I mean, we could.
You stay stationary.
Okay.
That one time we were here, we didn't talk about it on the first live stream before, but what scared us out of here first time is we kept hearing footsteps all around us, and eventually it got close enough that it was like, should have been within visual range. Actually, my vision's adjusting enough now. I can actually see about halfway across the cemetery.
See, I can see to the fence line over there. I don't.
Yeah. I don't see anything moving around where I'm hearing the noise from.
We did see a bunny when we drove
Oh,
over.
shit. Yeah, that is a good point.
It went under the fence. Sorry, I'm always stuffed up when we do these.
There is a slight breeze. It's not really heavy. It's not affecting my hearing. It'll probably show up on the recording.
Would you like us to leave? If so, knock on something, make a noise, say something where we can hear it. Sorry. Is there some way we could help you? Anything we could do?
Did you hear that? Sounded like footsteps.
I hear wind going through the trees.
It could very well just be the wind, but I heard like a step. Saw something move. Back in here. That's me. I stepped on a twig. That is a police siren in the back, but that sounded like a woman screaming at first. Hey, there's a metal fence back here that goes through this. That's definitely going to easily make some noise. Alright, the wind's blowing pretty hard right here, but the fence isn't moving. That's what it sounds like when I touch the fence. Nancy was the daughter of James and Mary Morris Richardson. She married Wiley Bradley Hargrove on November 10th, 1859. Children were Talitha, Hardy, Mary, Ann. And she was buried here in 1910.
That means her decoration is probably going to be degraded.
Yeah.
Or one of the broken ones.
So if you're here and you can hear us talking about you, we would really like to meet you. We'd really like to talk to you.
There's a yippy dog, I think.
Dog or a coyote?
Oh, it could be coyote. They've been
No,
having,
that's a yippy dog.
I say they've been having issues with coyotes out here. They start hanging them from the fences.
Nancy, it'd be really great if you could talk to us. We're just here to visit. We're not trying to annoy you or disturb you or anything like that.
If you want us to leave, you could knock on something 3 times, maybe, or say get out.
Or actually, if you touch any of these instruments that are all that's me walking. That's my footsteps. If you touch any of these instruments, They might go off and let us know that you're here. Where we're going to go next is over to the side of the graveyard where supposedly there was a possession. It's also the area of the graveyard where me and Sarah were basically chased out by what sounded like very heavy, aggressive footsteps. We didn't run. We walked very, very quickly. It was pretty damn scary, actually. So we're gonna go over there just on the off chance that we actually capture something live while you guys are.
Something just fell out of the tree, like a.
Yeah. Yeah, I just heard it. This tree right here. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I just heard something right beside me. I just heard something like a foot, like right beside me.
This is one out here. Would you like to do that again?
Hey, come over here. My meter froze.
Well. What'd you do to it? Kidding.
It's not supposed to do that.
Hey, my friend here just heard a footstep. Any chance you could recreate that or knock on the tombstone? Who's here?
Give me a second, guys. I only got 2 hands and I'm trying to operate equipment here. But I'm trying. This is where we had activity last time we were here. Okay, so this is what happened. I was standing right here and I was talking, and then it sounded like somebody whispered in my ear, just right here.
Did they say anything, or was it just?
It just indistinguishable. And so I looked at the EMF detector real quick, and I kind of expected it to jump because I moved kind of quick, but it was frozen on 1, and I don't have it on hold mode.
Could you do it again? The last time we were out there, we saw something in the woods, right? Like a gray, dark shape.
Yeah.
And it freaked us out. We were sitting. There's a bench or something over there.
Yeah, we were sitting on the bench, and we started seeing like a black shadow or a mist or whatever. And I'm pretty sure, I felt like it was our eyes playing tricks on us, and we were trying to. But the thing is we were.
Tricks scare me.
Well, we were wrapping up for the night, and I wasn't recording it at the time, and that's what pissed me off about it.
The story. I wish I hadn't been halfway across the cemetery when you heard the footstep.
Oh, the one just now?
Yeah, I stepped on a rock.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do some EMF while we're standing.
What was the chick's name?
Nancy, I believe.
So, you're buried in.
Right here again. Okay, I'm looking for the source of what sounds like a footstep right here.
There's no gravel.
There's no gravel.
There's some little rocks by the tombstones.
There's no leaves in that tree. I guess the tree could rattle a little bit, but that's not what I'm hearing.
Well, it could have blown something out of the tree closer to us.
I think that's your night blindness.
That light is really bright.
Alright. Let's get back. I'm not going to chase it anymore. If I hear footsteps, I'm just going to notate it.
So yeah, Nancy, we were wondering if you were buried over here, if you could give us a sign, talk to us, talk in this little orange light. So how did you die? Can you tell us? Sorry, I went blank. Are her children buried here?
I didn't see that, honestly.
Okay, so what would be a good one? One that's anomalous. What's something?
What, last time we were out here, we were almost chased out by something. Heard footsteps. And I've been hearing footsteps the whole time I'm here. And if that's you actually walking around, prove it somehow. Throw a rock.
I'll step over here. It can.
Touch one of these devices. If you can touch Sarah.
Preferably not on the left arm.
While I have her on camera. I just don't want to discredit you if that's actually you walking around. Because right now I think it's the wind. Just moving leaves around. Till you can give me something better. That's Sarah walking.
Are you trying to get us to go somewhere? If you want to leave, do something we know is you knock on something a couple times, say something, throw something, touch someone.
Dude, I just heard like a laugh. Or a duck.
A couple times, say something, throw something, touch someone.
Dude, I just heard like a laugh. Or a duck.
Something a couple times, say something, throw something, touch someone.
Dude, I just heard like a laugh. Or a duck.
Something a couple times, say something, throw something, touch someone.
Dude, I just heard like a laugh. Or a duck. If that was a laugh, do it louder. I mean, come right up to me, push me, say something in my ear so I can hear it. Touch Sarah. That's the wind moving her hair. That's not a ghost.
So I wonder if there's anybody here. What y'all think of the people out here talking to you. Because I know that we aren't the only ones. People come out here, well, I don't want to say often, but does it bother you, or do you like being able to talk to people? So I was looking at the trees, and I looked through them, and there's a red orb. There's a car on 35. But that wasn't the direction it was.
No, I saw it over there, and I don't know if 35 runs that way. But
No,
this
it
just
runs straight that way.
this just hovered there when I saw it last.
So how old are you? We heard, what sounded like maybe a young voice. Is there any children out here? I heard something.
That way?
That sure sounded like a person.
That was very coincidental. Are you alone out here? Do you want to play? We thought we heard like a child. I sure hearing footsteps that way now too. We're here to play if you're lonely. Is there someone here? How old are you?
Okay, dude, it's a rabbit.
Oh my holy God.
That's a rabbit.
Oh my fucking God.
That was a rabbit ride.
I'm sure hearing footsteps that way now too. We're here to play if you're lonely. Is there someone here? How old are you?
Okay, dude, it's a rabbit. Chill.
Oh my holy God.
That's a rabbit.
Oh
That
my God.
That was a rabbit.
Something screamed.
That was loud. That's gotta have been nature.
I don't know if y'all fucking heard that, but that was very ill-timed. I've been hearing what we think might be footsteps, possibly some whispers.
Vicious animal death.
I don't know. I heard something that sounded like children laughing or talking right before that, and as soon as I started talking to it like in a, like a friendly, like you would talk to
we
a
both
kid.
heard the kid almost like laughter and then the footstep, and it was right in that same area we always get stuff.
Yeah, and then, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I can explain away with like nature or the wind or whatever, but it's all been directly after asking questions.
Yeah, knowing that was a screaming buddy isn't helping me at all.
Yeah.
because it was too. I know it's probably it just timed so perfect. It's cool either way.
So last time, no, not last time we were here, the time before or whatever, first time me and Sarah came out here together, Sarah felt like a rock had got thrown at her, and I was standing by this grave.
It whizzed by my ear like from above down.
I was standing roughly in this location where she's standing. I was walking this way. And the way I remember it is there was some gravel on the ground, like almost like a quarry. But what I'm learning now is that my memory can play tricks on me, because now that I'm looking, there is no gravel here. There are no rocks. Even if I had wanted to play a trick on Sarah, there's nothing loose around here for me to have thrown. The other thing I remembered incorrectly is that you were standing under a tree. You were roughly here. No, you were a few more steps out. You were here is where you were at. That could not have been something from the tree, because the tree is about 10 feet in front of me.
There's any rocks for it to clank off of. It would have been loud enough to hit dirt like that. Dirt and grass. Gas grass. There's another reflecty.
You're holding the recorder, right? Okay. Is there anything here that wants to communicate with us?
That's me walking. If you want us to leave, and I know it's hard to make these loud, but you could knock 3 times on one of these gravestones or tell us verbally.
This headstone's broken. Are you angry about that?
I think when they break off here, that's natural, decay. sometimes they'll come out and like put metal through it to put it back up. But I'm not sure if anyone caretakes this cemetery to that level. Let's see. Arthur B. Smith. Died 1855. There's a poem on it or a verse, but I can't see it. He has a symbol too. He was only 20.
Died 1885.
Yeah, born 1865.
This is a very old part of the cemetery. You think that's the oldest part?
I don't know. There's one in the middle that was pretty old that seemed degraded to the point where you couldn't tell anymore. But we could go look at some of.
You know what? I have never walked past here because we always get too creeped out.
It's 1837 to 87, Harbin. And I personally really just like cemeteries. I think they're peaceful during the day. And I used to do gravestone rubbings. That one's too decayed.
That's been pieced back together multiple times. I don't even want to get near it. I don't want to accidentally knock it down.
They're pretty sturdy when they rebuild them, but I don't want to.
What is that? Oh, I have been back here.
You chased that sound through the woods, remember?
Yeah, and I caught orbs by this, that headstone that's shaped like a tree. I know, but...
Maybe that is a mesquite. I don't know, the bark's not gnarly enough.
Let's go back over. Oh, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry, I just walked in your shot.
All my pictures are coming out scary.
Oh my god, that is a...
That's a baby. It was a month old. What's the last name?
We were standing on this when
Fowler. This must have been the dad. 81 to 52? 81. 1915. Yeah, that's about right. He would have had the kid when he was maybe 25? These aren't Fowler. Because that's a really small footstone.
We were standing on this when we were hearing like
Yeah. So this was the
like kid or like a baby laugh.
I was standing there.
Yeah. That's kind of creepy.
And then we heard that scream. Man, did anything else out here hear that? Because that scared me. Was that one of y'all and something stopped you from talking? I hear whispering.
not hearing it.
It's probably the wind. Okay, I didn't like the noise I just heard.
What'd you hear?
Like a heavy breathing growl grunt.
That's what I heard earlier. Like a... Can you come do that in my ear? That's a hell of a coincidence.
So when I ask questions, the wind smacks up cold and hard. Is that something y'all are doing? Or nature? No wind. It's coincidence, I think. One more time. Coincidence.
Whatever you gotta tell yourself. I'm definitely not getting any EMF spikes.
So this would be... I'm trying to find something that if it was a kid and they couldn't...
Can you rattle this this fence that's right by me? I just heard it a second ago when you were walking by it.
This'll rattle. Could you maybe rattle that right there?
Oh, shit. Oh. Is that you? Because I'm not moving very fast.
Try and push it again.
That was a .1. Point.
Sorry.
I'm still getting spikes.
So I could get you if you'd...
Okay, it just stopped. Oh, no.
If you could stand still for a picture.
I'm at 0.
My kids hate having their pictures taken.
I'm at 0. I'm at 0. 2, 3. It's not from me moving.
Yeah, you're not moving. Okay.
I mean, I'm moving a little bit, but not enough.
Could wind flow do it?
Look, I've got... Here, I'm steadying it. Okay, that's me. That's me. I've got it steadied up against here. Do it again. Move it. Look, see, I can move it like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's only until I do something fast that it spikes. I'm not getting anything now. Okay, a couple of those spikes were from me moving it, but I was very, very still, and I was still getting lots of spikes. I'm going to stay here and try to debunk this for just a second.
Why are all of my pictures coming out blurry? Like every single one.
Is your hand shaking because of the cold?
I don't know. They were doing that the whole time.
Is this iron?
I don't know. Is it,
It might be magnetized.
Yeah, it's right. I mean,
Okay, I'm gonna say that this actually gives off EMF
okay.
in certain spots. I think because of the metal that it is, it's creating a field. So, no ghost there.
So, if there's something over here and it does start spinning, do you want us to stay and talk, or do you want us to...
It seems like it's calmed down from before. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was trying to simulate, like, footstep sound.
I can't do too much longer.
I heard, like, a gate. I heard a footstep. This is how we heard it last time. We heard footsteps there, then we walked that way, and then we heard footsteps from this direction. We're going to do that again, see if we can recreate what was happening.
You might want to grab your stuff.
I ain't running out of this bitch. You're going to have to come and push me down if you want to scare me out of here this time. I didn't tell it to possess me. I just told it to push me down. I don't want to get murdered.
And we're not trying to...
Seems like all you can do is make noise. Dude, I just heard something like walk like a foot behind me. Like a foot. Like there's no way that was the wind, or it was like right behind me. You keep kind of coming up next to me and making noises. Take pictures of me. Maybe something's like trying to try to touch me or whisper in my ear again. So, interesting fact I just figured out. I don't know why it didn't occur to me before. But, I had to switch out the batteries earlier after only 54 minutes. The battery on this camera usually runs about 3 hours. About 2.5, 3 hours. I mean, just depending on how much on and off and, you know, how much of the IR I use. But after only an hour, that battery was draining, and I charged those up just before we came here. So, that's when we were getting, like, a lot of activity. Did you catch that?
What?
I was talking to the camera.
I heard the end of it, the battery being low, but I didn't hear...
I got 2 identical batteries for this. They're both good batteries. I just got a new one because it was an extra one. But it just occurred to me I had to switch it out after an hour. And that's when all the craziness was happening. Okay, so
I didn't get anything while you're gone.
what I have here is it's a recording app for the phone, but it only tracks sounds that are below 80 decibels. It only records infrasound, or it only shows me spikes on infrasound. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have it run. We're going to be very, very quiet, not make any noise. Which it doesn't show us the noise that we make, but we can actually cause infrasound. But we're going to look and see what the amplitude of infrasound in this area is, because infrasound can possibly cause hallucinations, or could maybe...
Feelings of dread, anxiety.
Or it could attract paranormal activity. So I'm just going to set it right here on this stump. And hit record. I'm going to see what happens. Because the key fob was in my pocket, and when I crouched, it hit the panic button. It made me panic, which I'm assuming is what it's supposed to do. It's just make me panic. All right. Ah, interesting. Look at the meter.
So the big ones are spikes of infrasound?
Mm-hmm. Okay, watch. See how you get a little bit of spike? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's with me kicking the stump right next to that.
Yeah.
So there's no way our voices or whatever could cause a big spike like that. So what that is some kind of wave of subsonic sound.
Natural infrasound?
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that? That boom?
Yeah, is it a pattern of any sort?
I don't know if I can capture that in the camera. And then it just goes straight to no sound.
Wintertime stuff can cause melancholy. So maybe melancholy is the mild form of...
Infrasound sensitivity?
Yeah.
Because wind turbines cause infrasound, like the sound of a fan.
You know, Uncle Tony, he's got a bunch of he's got a wind farm by his ranch. We ought to go out there one time and get near one of those wind turbines and see how much infrasound it kicks up. I wonder if people working there have
I know OSHA is currently doing studies into infrasound and the effects it has on the body, and they've found that things like fracking, ocean waves, wind turbines, sonic booms from the airport planes, anything that causes deep vibrations will actually do that.
The earthquakes we have in Cleveland are weird because it just feels weird. I don't know. It's sort of like what you're talking about. It's you don't hear or feel anything. Your brain senses it.
Okay, well, at least I was able to run that experiment. So any location that we do outdoors in windy environments, we can assume that there's some level of infrasound. that follows with that. Any other experiments you can think of? I think we've finally exhausted this place.